Hello, everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to Today in Bitcoin. Today is January 28th, 2017. I just want to say that next week, probably next Tuesday, keep your fingers crossed. I might have a very special guest on. Keep your fingers crossed. That's all I'll say for now. I don't want to jinx it. Thanks for the people who have sent me Bitcoin lately. 2 people recently, thank you. And the person who sent the Litecoin, thank you very much. Yesterday, we had a great This Week in Bitcoin show to wrap up the week. Tone Vase, Alex 14, and Bitcoin Globe were on. I will link to that show below. You really should check it out. It was entertaining. Well, Bitcoin has been around 919, the lower 920s, the 9 teens for a little while. It's been pretty boring. And Vinny Lingham has recently said a few different times, I don't know if I mentioned it before, that Bitcoin being boring is a good thing. Make it boring again. And it's been boring during some periods of time now where some not so boring things have happened in China, and the price hasn't really been affected that much, which is good. I mean, it's proving some store value function, I guess. This more stable, it seems, toward the positive end, that it's not dipping down 30% a day or even 10% a day. The less of those days we have where it goes down that much, the better it is for calming institutional investors and people with larger amounts of capital to invest into Bitcoin. Again, hopefully we'll have many days when it goes up 40%. I think that's a lot of fun, although some people say that's not a good thing. Anyway, keep it boring for now. So Litecoin, let's talk about Litecoin. I have a lot on my mind about Litecoin. So I think people in that camp are going to be excited, and they should be excited because this is a time, in the next few days, we'll find out how close to implementation of Segwit Litecoin is. But Litecoin should try to implement every controversial aspect of Bitcoin before Bitcoin can do it. There are a lot of additional qualities people want to add to Bitcoin. Like, well, first of all, segregated witness. It's trying to beat Bitcoin to the punch with that. Obviously, Bitcoin is totally stalled with that. So if Litecoin can do it in the next month, they'll be fine. But, anonymous, people have mentioned different features for Bitcoin. Like, let's try to build an anonymous layer to Bitcoin. So Litecoin can look at all these other altcoins out there, pick their best qualities that people want to add to Bitcoin and add it to Litecoin before Bitcoin. And yeah, that's like being a test net for Bitcoin, but at the same time, it's beating Bitcoin to the punch. So if it continues to be the coin that beats Bitcoin to the punch, this proactive test net, then it has some value. And it will maintain, it will survive. And again, if it implements segregated witness and it's successful, this is going to be a great argument against one of anti-Bitcoin people's favorite FUD out there. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt is FUD, everyone. People like to spread rumors about fear, uncertainty, and doubt and ask questions about that. Well, one question they ask about Bitcoin is, what happens if there's a better altcoin that comes along and it overtakes Bitcoin because it's so great? Well, guess what? If Litecoin actually implements segregated witness, has a Lightning Network before Bitcoin does, it will be better than Bitcoin in quality, okay? It will be better. Litecoin is just Bitcoin, basically. That's all it is. That's one of all these other coins, they say they can do other things and everything, which is true. They have different ways of going. Litecoin is just Bitcoin, just a little teeny bit different. So if Litecoin actually implements segregated witness and Lightning Network, it will be better, but it's not going to overtake Bitcoin. It's not going to overtake Bitcoin. It will always, it can't. And that proves that argument. It will, you'll see. I'm wishing the best for Litecoin, and the best for Litecoin is to be the silver, is to be the proactive test net of Bitcoin. But it will, in theory, be better than Bitcoin, but it will not be able to even dream of coming close to taking over Bitcoin as the #1 cryptocurrency. And so it'll be a great argument. We will have something in our back pocket when people say, well, what if a better cryptocurrency comes along? You'll say, well, look, Litecoin's better. And it's not beating. It's look, there's your Facebook to MySpace thing you're trying to prove or whatever. People bring up that. Bitcoin is the dominant one. It's going to remain the dominant one unless there's a disaster in Bitcoin. I mean, I can't even predict such a disaster. I don't know. Some nuclear war. I don't know. The other thing is, if for some horrible reason, if Litecoin does not implement segregated witness, then it's in trouble. I mean, this is a moment of truth for Litecoin, really, to show that it is the true silver, to show that it is the proactive testnet of Bitcoin. And I am confident they will implement Segwit. If somebody mentioned some FUD to me, I'm not even going to mention it. So the Chinese New Year, we just had that. Was that yesterday? And this is also about Litecoin. And last year I was in Singapore for the Chinese New Year, and so many people in Singapore are Chinese, and it's a huge thing out there. And so the Chinese are very proud people wherever they live, and they're proud to be of Chinese ancestry. Charlie Lee of Litecoin is of Chinese ancestry, no doubt about it. And Chinese people, I have been told, for that reason, that is why they like Litecoin. They respect Litecoin because a Chinese man created it. Now you might say, well, that's racist. Hey man, I don't make the rules here. People are going to think the way they're going to think. That's the bottom line. So that's a positive for Litecoin that I think about on this Chinese New Year. So we'll see. We'll see if if Litecoin does implement the segregated witnesses, all the Chinese get behind it. And we'll probably see once again that 95% or 90% of the people of cryptocurrency are not Chinese. We'll probably see that maybe less than 50% are. I mean, the numbers are really lower than we thought they were, at least by these new exchange numbers that are coming out with Bitcoin. Okay, Monero is up. I don't know why. I don't know. Again, it's good anonymous. It's a good anonymous coin. Maybe people are using it. And this has happened before. When Monero goes up, it's a coin called Aeon, A-E-O-N, which is just a fork of it, also goes up. It's just something to think about, I guess, that these anonymous coins, some move together, and maybe speculators are just like, oh, Monero's so great, its fork's better. Its fork will go up too, and I'll pump it up. All right, going back to Charlie Lee. I'm jumping all around here. Charlie Lee came out with a very interesting tweet. Again, Charlie Lee is the guy who made up Litecoin. He works for Coinbase. Best in class cryptos for today. He says Bitcoin for store of value, Ethereum for dApps, Monero for fungibility, and Decred for governance. All right, Decred. So I'm like, Decred. Yeah, I bet. I mean, it's like a number in the 40s in the crypto currency rankings on CoinMarketCap. I was like, Decred? I don't know much about that one. And then he made a joke, Pascal coin for pump, and then Pascal coin for dump. If you guys have heard, I've heard of that lately because a lot of the same people who talk about cloud mining are talking about Pascal coins. So anyway, so then he goes on to tweet again. People are like all interested in this tweet. I mean, it's an intriguing tweet. He's a guy whose name is very known and respected out there, and people want to know if he's got like a second and a third favorite. And so, all right, he does for each one. So in store of value, his second favorite is Litecoin. In dApps, his second favorite is Ethereum Classic. In fungibility, his second favorite is Zcash. And then in governance, his second favorite is Monero. So he likes Monero. I mean, this has been a common theme lately with him. Hey, so get Monero on Coinbase, dude. Come on, man. First of all, for years he could have gotten, everyone was talking about Litecoin being on Coinbase, and he never did it. He didn't have the pool in 2015 to do it, when it really would have made a difference for Litecoin. I digress. Okay, so in another tweet that I will also link to, and this goes back to the Decred thing, he says, one reason I like Decred is because it's based off of my proof of activity proposal from a long time ago. Hey, so I mean, at least he admits he's a little biased there. So I don't know. I'm not saying to go look at first I was going to be like, I got to look into this Decred thing. Well, there's a personal reason why he's interested in Decred. Anyway, people always love to hear about rankings and all of that stuff. So there you go. There's Charlie Lee's ranking. Hey, anyone out there who's watching this, I get viewers from all over the place, not just North America, not just Europe. If you're in an obscure country out there right now, let me tell you, the ease, you're in a unique position if you like Bitcoin and you're in some obscure country like Malawi, let's say. You can become the Bitcoin person, the Roger Ver, as it were, of that country if you just start talking it up. Like if you're in Namibia right now, I was in Namibia hanging out there for a little while. I couldn't find anyone that was into Bitcoin. Namibia is an English-speaking country, very modern country. And yet there's no Roger Ver of Namibia. There's, because I do personally know the Roger Ver of South Africa. That's Lorian Gamaroff. Now that's hard to beat, but South Africa, that's hardcore country right there. Now Zimbabwe that's Tawanda Kembo is the Roger Ver of Zimbabwe, of course. Now it's a little easier to be the Roger Ver of Zimbabwe, but Tawanda's got that taken care of as he has the only Bitcoin exchange in Zimbabwe. But I mean, in Namibia, there's no Bitcoin, there's nothing. So you could just step up your game. Like there's that woman in Botswana, she's known as the Bitcoin lady, and she's just the Bitcoin lady, but she's the only known Bitcoin person in all of Botswana. So if you're in a country like that, and this is not to diss your country or anything like this. This just shows you the potential. Just shows you how early we are in the cryptocurrency world, in the Bitcoin world, that you can still go to a country like Namibia, which is a modern country. Again, it's right next to South Africa, and become the main Bitcoin person in that country within 24 hours, basically. So that's how early it is in this. So thanks a lot, everyone, for watching the show. I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister. Remember to subscribe to this channel, like this video, share this video. I post a new video here every day. This one's live. I see we have people out in the chat section right now. I'm going to say hi to them in a second when I end this video. I hope you enjoyed today in Bitcoin.